Coach Miller, and welcome to All Marine Fighter. In today's boxing story, I got to tell you about humility lesson number 1. What is that? There is always somebody bigger and better than you. I had to learn this lesson the hard way. Now, in boxing or any kind of combat sport, especially when you're competing against others physically, you tend to remember this, but there are times where you can kind of forget it. And any one of you that has fought for any length of time, you know what I'm talking about. After I beat the younger Rodriguez brother while I was stationed at Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii, part of the base team, working towards the All Marine Corps trials to try to get on the All Marine Corps boxing team, I beat him, and I got way too full of myself. I said, boom, knocked off a number 2 fighter. I am ready to take on the number 1 ranked fighter, which was his older brother, Brent. And he was ranked in the top 10 of his weight division. But he was technically 2 weight classes lower than me. He fought at the 150s range. I fought at 178 technically, even though I should be fighting at 165. And I told my coach after I had beat his brother Mark, because I said a lot of stupid things at the end of that fight out loud to people, and I won't repeat it, but I think to myself how foolish I was saying those things to him and his people. Because there was a lot of animosity between Islanders and military, and so I got caught up in that, and I regret that now. But I was way too full of myself, and I told my coach, I said, hey, I want to fight Brent Rodriguez, and I want to show the All Marine Corps coach that I am the best fighter in this region, because I had gotten word that the All Marine Corps coach was coming out to check me out and put me through like a little mini trial to see, if I can get the invitation to go to the All Marine Corps trials in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And this was in 2004. Now, this fight was a little different because by the time we were able to schedule this fight, it was going to take place in a faraway part of the islands where none of my Marines were going to be able to come and see me, and it was in a high school gym type of setup. And it's amateur fighting, it can be in almost anywhere. And so it wasn't as nice a venue or whatever. And the All Marine Corps coach was there at the time of my fight was going on. So he's there putting me through this little mini trial type of thing, me and several others. And I invited the All Marine Corps coach to come check me out, Coach Michaels. And I said, hey, come check it out. I want to show, because remember, I was too big on myself this time. And I said, I want to show, hey, I'm the best fighter in this region, and, it's worth investing in me type of thing. So I go out there for the fight night, and I'm pumped, I'm ready, and I don't see the All Marine Corps coach. And I'm like, where is this dude? And come to find out, he didn't even come. More on that later. I see Brent come out, and now was the time. Now, remember my last video I told you about when I fought his brother, Mark. Brent had already fought several Marines and also a Navy fighter at this time. And 2 of the Marines that he fought were former ranked fighters, and they were very good. And he had beaten all of them. He had beaten everybody from our team. I was, one of the last guys on the team he hadn't fought. And we fought at a catch weight. We fought in the 160s. He gained a little weight. I tried to lose a little weight so we can meet and make it reasonable and not be anything that would not be allowed to be sanctioned. So I get up there in the ring, and you can see that I'm already physically bigger than this guy. Now, he fought in the 150s, and I'm 6 foot tall, and he was probably like 3 inches shorter than me. His frame was a little smaller than me. But he was kind of thick, but but obviously you could see a size difference. The bell rung, and we immediately met each other in the center of the ring. He demonstrated why he was ranked in the top 10 in the nation for his weight class. We traded punches, and right away, I knew there was a difference. He felt like he had a bag of rocks in his gloves. He's one of those guys that has that heavy bone density, and so every time he hits you, it felt like a freight train hitting your face. It was a bag of rocks. And I remember thinking to myself, holy cow, this guy hits hard. Now, obviously, when you're in the ring, and those of you who are also fighters, you know that if you get hit with a good shot, you try to put on the straight face, the poker face they call it, show that you ain't buzzed or anything else like that. And I try to do that, but I tell you what, I thought to myself, holy cow, I gotta watch this dude. But for some reason, I got into this mode of thinking to myself, I'm bigger than him. I'm gonna go out there and bully him. And physically, man, I didn't even box like I normally do with people. I don't sit there and bang with people in the ring, and I think it's very foolish to do that. And for some stupid reason, I did that though. I didn't box. I just met him. Like seriously, there was no moving around the ring from either one of us. We sat pretty much relatively in the center of the ring. First round, he hit me with some nasty shots, and he knocked me down. Knocked me down my rear end, and I sat there. I was given the 8 count, and I sat there for a minute, let my head kind of clear. He dazed me pretty good. I'm thinking to myself, oh, sheesh, dude, I'm already down on the cards now. This is ridiculous. Ah, sheesh, I got to come back. I got to come back heavy. So I got back up, shook it off. Ref said, you want to continue? Yes, sir, I do. Go straight out there again. For some dumb reason, I did it again. Like I didn't learn my lesson, right? You go straight in the center of the ring and just bang with him. Utterly foolish. Humility lesson number 1. There's always somebody bigger and badder than you. Too proud. Too arrogant. The round 1 ends, and the coach is trying to give me advice on how to do this and do that. And like I said, you train or you fight how you train. So I had gotten used to thinking to myself, I'm going to go out there and just bang with them and do whatever. So switching up my game plan just wasn't going to happen right away. I was still, up and coming fighter and that type of thing. I had dozens of fights on my belt, but, I was still learning a lot. It wasn't like a Floyd Mayweather, you go out and change your game plan in the middle of a fight, And so, again, second round, we go out there and just swing him toe-to-toe with this guy. And I thought to myself, I got to get a knockdown. I kept thinking to myself, I have to knock him down. I have to knock him down. He put me down a second time. This time, this one hurt. And so I thought to myself, oh man, that was a good one. That was a good one. Okay. I get back up. The ref said, are you ready to fight? I said, yes. You want to continue? Yes. He says to me, if he knocks you down again, I'm stopping the fight. I said, yes, sir. What do you think I did? Think I boxed? You think I played it safe? No. I went out there and banged with him again. He didn't knock me down, but man, that boy hit hard. That boy hit really, really hard. And so round 3 ends, and I go back to my corner, and I already knew what happened. I could hear all his people hooting and hollering, and I already knew what the ref's decision was going to be. I lost this one hands down. The ref raised his hand, and it was a major humility check for me. And I said to myself, how foolish was I to go in here and do this? And the Marine Corps coach didn't even show. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm glad he didn't, because that looked really, really bad, especially after he told me he was going to invite me to the All Marine Corps trials, right? I'm so glad he didn't show. By the way, he told me after why he didn't show. He said that he had a feeling that his presence there and the implications and that type of thing, that I was going to do something foolish. So he just decided to stay home. Because I did tell him what happened. I didn't lie to him. I told him what happened. And he goes, see, I told you. I was like, so do I still get my invitation now? And he said, yes. So I was still allowed to go and try out the All Marine Corps trials, January of 2005. But there was a major lesson to be learned. A humility lesson. In combat sports, there is always somebody bigger and badder than you. And never, ever, ever get too full of yourself, because that could be the day where you get put on your rear end. How about you? Any fighters out there want to tell me about one of their humility lessons? You want to share that down in the comments? I'm old now. I'm not an active fighter. I coach, but we can share these stories now, right? Tell me about one of your humility lessons down in and down in the comments, okay? Be sure to subscribe, share these videos, and I hope you enjoy the stories, because I got lots more to tell, and they're pretty funny. Coach Miller, signing out.